Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from comic books to action figures and everything in between. My name is Aiden, and I hope that you're doing well today. So in this video, I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of this Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Darth Maul from The Phantom Menace. So if you've been watching my show for a while, you'll know that I posted a video talking about the things that I purchased at Fan Expo Toronto 2025. At the time of recording, it's been a few weeks since that happened, and this is one of the things that I bought. So here is a closer look at the box. I spent 45 Canadian dollars from a vendor. Now, normally if you purchase this in a store like EB Games or GameStop, there's the read up in several different languages, so if you want to pause it and read it, be my guest. But you know, if you buy it in a store or on Amazon or any other website that sells action figures, it's, you know, either between 30 Canadian dollars and up. So the only reason why I spent $45 is because at my local EB Games it was $70, so I wasn't really gonna do that. But yeah, so I know it's a lot of money, but you know, it's well worth the price in my opinion, because Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters from the Star Wars films. So the read-up says, sent by the evil Darth Sidious, Darth Maul delivered a fatal blow to Qui-Gon Jinn with his double-bladed lightsaber during the Battle of Naboo. Now this is number 5 in the Phantom Menace wave. You get Anakin Skywalker, Padme Amidala, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Darth Maul. And this is not for children under the age of 4 years because of the possibility of a choking hazard, although I don't understand. I mean, I guess you could choke on his lightsaber, but I don't see how that's really possible. But we get the legal information and all that. But before I crack this open, I know I say this all the time, but I really like the Star Wars The Black Series packaging because it looks very nice in my opinion. And you know, I know that that's not really important per se, but as you know, a collector, I think that, you know, the presentation is a very important part of the sale as well as the display. So yeah, let's get my knife and cut the tape off of this box and take a closer look. Boom, 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 boom. So here he is in the bubble. The only accessory that he comes with is his lightsaber, but that is perfectly fine. I know this is a re-release, because I know when they originally released Darth Maul back in the day, he came with his cloak, and I believe also the probe droid that he sent out. But I'm fine with just having his lightsaber, because that's really why I want to pose him, because I want to have it, you know, similar to the battle on Naboo. Now I don't have Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon, but I do want to get those characters. Both the prequel version of Obi-Wan and the original Obi-Wan from Star Wars 1977. And I know that there's also a ghost version of Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. Whoa, easy, don't want to drop this lightsaber. His lightsaber will make a fine addition to my collection. So let's take a closer look at this. It is very, very cool. I like the red and how it's translucent, and you can detach both sides, because during the battle Obi-Wan cuts Maul's lightsaber in half, so you can recreate that. And there's a little nub here to attach to him, and you can remove the blades, but I don't want to do that right now, so I'll put that up on here. And we've got some there we go. That wasn't so hard. So here he is out of the bubble and out of the box. I really, really like the paint on this. It looks absolutely gorgeous and demonic at the same time, but you know, that's the whole point of the character. But it's a dark red for his face and the black for his tattoos and robes, and little his horns have bone color, and I think that that is very nice, and his yellow Sith eyes. But he doesn't come with any extra hands, so he just has the gripping hands. But let's take a look at the articulation. So he can, oh wow, butterfly joints, so that's a bonus. So he can turn his arms around 360 degrees. He can move his arm out. There's a cut at his forearm and wrist, so you can move those around and bend the wrist. There's a double jointed elbow, and the butterfly joints gives him a bigger range of motion. He can turn his head 360 degrees, look up, look down, tilt his head, and there's a cut at his waist, so he can turn around, and there's a bit of an ab crunch, but his robes do hinder that, and he can kick his legs out, and there are double jointed knees, and there's a hinge at his ankle, so you can point his toes and twist his ankle and all that. So pretty basic Hasbro articulation, but I think it moves and looks very nice. And again, limited you know, accessories, but I'm completely fine with what we get. So before we cut to my desk to do the size comparison, let's just take a closer look, and also let's put his lightsaber in his hand. Plural. Oh yeah, also the little nub for his lightsaber goes in here on his belt, so he can have that, whoa, as a hilt. No, I'm trying to be gentle here because I don't want it to get all messed up, but I might just have to detach parts. So we remove that blade and that blade, put that out. Oh yeah, now we're cooking with gas. We're making some headway here. It's always a bit difficult getting the weapons in the hands of these figures, but beggars cannot be choosers, because the sculpting, the painting are all fantastic. It's just that we've got that one little nuisance, but I'm happy with how this turns. Okay, all right. And then we just gotta put that there, straighten that out. Ta-da! That looks awesome. But now let's cut over to my desk and get a closer look. Alright, so here he is standing next to Chewbacca, who is my tallest action figure, also from the Black Series, and Emperor Palpatine, also from the Black Series. And Maul is slightly taller than the Emperor, which does match with the film. I believe that Ray Park is at least a few inches taller than Ian McDiarmid. And Chewbacca is a big boy. But let's take a closer look at him with his former master. At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge. You have become a rival. Ah, mercy, please. There is no mercy. Ah! But yeah, they look awesome together. And again, the only criticism that I can legitimately pose against this is the god-awful leg, sculpting, which makes it difficult, to say the least, to pose these figures. Now let's have him next to a Black Series Stormtrooper. And the Stormtrooper is slightly taller than the Sith Lord. Let's put him next to Princess Leia from the first movie. And as I suspected, Leia is shorter. Now, an interesting thing, I already made a video about this, but let me just reiterate it here. We have learned that in the plans for George Lucas's sequel trilogy, if he had not sold his production company to Walt Disney, Leia was going to fight Darth Maul. And I think that would have been pretty awesome, because Luke would have been training her to be a Jedi, and then Darth Maul would be revealed as the new Sith Lord after Emperor Palpatine's death and Darth Vader's death. And his apprentice Darth Talon, who was originally from the Expanded Universe comic books, she would have been like the Darth Vader of the new trilogy, the muscle, whereas Darth Maul was like the Emperor, the guy behind the scenes. And I just think that that's pretty cool. Now, speaking of Vader, let's put him next to the Black Series Vader from the first movie, and as I suspected, Vader is much taller. Let's put him next to the Black Series Boba Fett, and Boba Fett is slightly taller, which is fine. Now, the last Star Wars figure I want to put him next to is the Black Series Luke Skywalker from Empire. This is where he's training with Yoda. And they're about the same height, which I believe is correct. Now for some other toy lines. Here's the Hasbro Marvel Legends Black Cat from Spider-Man the Animated Series. They're about the same height, although she looks slightly taller. Here is the McFarlane Toys DC Direct Superman from Reign of the Supermen, and as I suspected, Superman is a lot taller than Darth Maul. And finally, let's put him next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends Human Torch from Fantastic Four the Animated Series. And Johnny is much taller than Maul, which is perfectly fine by me. But let's take one close look at this figure, and yeah, I love the painting and sculpting that they did. It looks fantastic. And here he is with half of his lightsaber. Now let's take out the blades, put it back together, and hook it onto his belt. So the blade nub goes in there. Oh, jeez. Well, we saw it briefly attached, but on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being god-awful and 10 being amazing, I'd have to give this a 9. Again, the only deduction that I can really give is the stupid feet sculpting, which makes it impossible to stand without, you know, a stand. But I don't have one, and it didn't come with one in the box. But everything else about this is amazing. I love the sculpting of not only his, you know, face and body, but I also love the sculpting of the clothing. The Sith robes look awesome, and I love the details of the painting, and it just looks fantastic. And the lightsaber is awesome as an accessory. And yeah, that is all I have for you today on this episode of the National Timely Action Hour. Once again, my name is Aiden, and if you enjoyed this video and are new to my show, then please consider subscribing and ringing the bell to be notified when I post new videos, and share this with your friends if they're interested in this sort of content, and please click the like button. Or if you did not like this video, then I do apologize, but you can hit the dislike button. And in the description, I'll leave a link to my podcast, so please check that out. And I'll also leave a link to my social media profile so you can stay up to date about my show and podcast and send me a message. And I'll also leave a link to my Patreon page and merch store, so if you'd like to support this show financially, I would greatly appreciate that. And yeah, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I sincerely hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.